It began in June 1941. Operation Barbarossa. Hitler unleashed the full fury of the Wehrmacht on the Soviet Union. What followed was a brutal war of annihilation, one where no mercy was given, and none expected. Entire villages were razed, civilians executed, and cities starved into submission. But amidst this chaos, the Soviet Union turned to an unlikely force: its women. Unlike many nations, the USSR allowed women into combat, and not just in support roles. They were trained to fly bombers, operate anti-aircraft guns, and most famously to snipe. By 1943, over 2,000 Soviet women had been trained as snipers. Clad in winter white or forest green, they crawled silently into position, rifles in hand, hearts hardened by loss and rage. And leading them was a name etched in history: Lyudmila Pavlichenko. Born in Ukraine in 1916, Lyudmila was a university student and a trained marksman. When the Germans invaded, she didn't hesitate. She joined the Red Army and became part of the 25th Rifle Division. In her first 75 days on the front, she recorded 187 confirmed kills. She wasn't just good, she was terrifyingly good. German snipers began hunting her specifically. They even tried to bribe her through loudspeaker broadcasts, offering her chocolate and the rank of officer if she surrendered. She answered with silence and more confirmed kills. Her final tally: 309 enemy soldiers, including 36 enemy snipers. Wounded multiple times, she eventually became too valuable to risk on the front. Stalin sent her on a goodwill tour to the US and Canada, where she stood beside Eleanor Roosevelt and famously told American journalists, "I am 25 years old, and I have killed 309 fascist occupiers. Don't you think, gentlemen, that you have been hiding behind my back for too long?" But she was far from alone. Women like Rosa Shanina, a Siberian schoolteacher turned sniper, earned the nickname the Terror of East Prussia. She had 59 confirmed kills before she died in combat at just 20 years old. Or Nina Petrova, a grandmother in her 40s who fought and sniped alongside soldiers half her age. Her sharp eye and cold nerve earned her over 100 kills before her death in 1945. These women were not just deadly. They were disciplined, precise, and unrelenting. They used patience as a weapon, lying motionless for hours or even days in the snow, waiting for the perfect shot. The psychological impact on the Germans was immense. Nazi soldiers grew terrified of the forests. Every rustle, every glint of metal could be death. A single Soviet woman with a Mosin-Nagant rifle could hold down a platoon. And they didn't fight for glory. Many of them had seen their homes destroyed, their families murdered. Their war was personal. The Soviet sniper schools trained women rigorously. They learned camouflage, stalking, shooting under pressure. They were expected to crawl through snow and mud, to shoot with frostbitten fingers, to never betray their position. Some worked in pairs, spotter and shooter. Others operated entirely alone. The war took its toll. Survival rates for snipers, especially on the Eastern Front, were low. Many never returned. Those who did came back scarred, physically and emotionally, but they returned as heroes. Yet after the war, recognition faded. The USSR buried their stories beneath parades and propaganda. Many of these women lived quiet, unnoticed lives. Some struggled with PTSD. Others found solace in teaching or family. But history remembers, and so do we. The story of the Soviet women snipers is not just about war. It's about defiance. It's about resilience. It's about young girls who traded textbooks for rifles and became legends. They showed that bravery has no gender, and that sometimes the deadliest soldiers come in the most unexpected forms. As the snows melted and the guns fell silent, their names were etched into history, not as victims, not just as women, but as warriors.